Well, Dave, it's been the only full week in this busy period that you will have had to have worked with the players. How have you been able to utilise that?
It gives us a bit of, I suppose, time to come off the ones that have started, but an important time for the ones that I suppose we brought into the club and aren't quite up to speed, which we did. We played a game at Everton on Tuesday. So it's allowed us to, like I say, I suppose, deload a little bit in a certain degree for the ones who needed it. But ultimately, a 4 weeks preparation going into not just a weekend's game, but a run of games coming up where we play Saturday, Tuesday consecutively. And a tough period for us physically.
You mentioned the possibility of that bounce game on Tuesday at Everton. Obviously, plenty of players in need of minutes. How did that go? Did everyone come through it okay?
Yeah, fine. Got out of it what we needed, as you say, in terms of playing against a, like I say, very, very strong Everton team. Real good experience for the younger lads who played, but important minutes for Tanto, Stretch, Joe Grayson, Aaron Rowe, Joe Lewis, V. So like I say, from their perspective and from our perspective in terms of what we got from it, exactly what we needed, and gets them closer to having, I suppose, full 90 minutes in the locker.
Just going back to last Saturday for a minute, obviously the big thing was to get the 3 points, to get back to winning ways, but more than that, a much improved performance from your team as well.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Again, sometimes when the game's going ahead and you are asked, I suppose, after the game quickly what your opinion of it was. I didn't think we played that well, but when you watch the game back, we played better than I thought we had. Thoroughly deserving of the win. Like I say, we could maybe, some would say, should have had more goals than what we did. Conceded poor goals, which made it, I suppose, a little bit hairy towards the end. We shouldn't have had to dealt with what we did. But like I say, it was an important win for us. And like I say, we're coming to the end of that, I suppose, next 10 game run, two to sort of play and takes us into those last two in a decent place, looking to kick on.
In terms of that third block of 10, whereabouts are you in terms of where you wanted to be come the end of that?
Yeah, not far away. Obviously the last two are important. Goes without saying. You'll always look at, I suppose, fixtures, results. Football's not played on paper. For us, without it sounding too or going too deep into it, you know that over the course of a season, if you average 2 points a game, then it should give yourself a chance of being certainly in amongst the top teams. Like I say, if at the start of the season, if we were offered 2 points a game, you'd take it, because in the majority of seasons, especially in this league, that would get your automatic promotion. To be fair, probably Leighton Orient and Stevenage are outperforming that at the moment, but we didn't start in our first 10 as we would like. So it's important for us that we have to keep to that in the remaining ones to give ourselves a chance to be in the positions that we want to be at the end of the season.
It's kind of an irony, really, that having been on the periphery of the playoffs for so long, it's actually on the back of maybe a bit of a challenging run that you've actually taken that step into the playoff places now. That must provide a real platform to put that run behind you now and kick on.
It does. Again, just in terms of, I suppose, from a player's perspective, there's a reinforcement there. What I will say is it's ridiculously tight. So I think I seen a stat the other day that said, I think from 6th to maybe 15th, there's 5 or 6 points, 6 points in it. Even above that, Carlisle have had a brilliant run, but obviously lost on Saturday. And we're still trying to, like I say, bridge gaps whilst keeping distance from teams that are trying to, I suppose, overhaul us. And you get a chance to do that in every game. And we want to try and stay in and around it, and we want to try and move up the table. Even though, as I said, the big thing for us comes after 46 games in terms of where we sit, and hopefully it's a place that we all want to be.
Obviously, the new lads that have come in January are still settling in. We know in the system that obviously you like to play, the wing backs are really important. You like them to push high, be aggressive, pin the opposition full-backs back. What have you made of the way that Kyle Noyle settled in? Because there was times on Saturday when he was essentially an extra attacker with those runs to the back post.
Yeah, that's I suppose in terms of the profile of that position, that's how we see it. We had that with with Maka. We lost it for a little bit in terms of players that went and played there, but we have that back now with Kyle, and we have the same threat the other side, certainly when either Ryan or Miles play in that position. And it's something that, like I say, for us is important to how we play. We're a team that want to cross the ball. In order to cross the ball effectively, or for the crosses to be efficient, you need to get bodies in the box. And if we're playing slightly different in terms of our midfield configuration, and we're maybe not getting two midfielders in the box, then it's important that opposite wing back does get in there. Again, Kyle's goal, for example, at the weekend, regardless of the ball, it's a decent ball in. It's a brilliant header. And like I say, from that position, if over the course of a season, I'd expect that they should be getting upwards of 5 goals, because we do give them the license to go and be aggressive, go and get in there, and go and be like an attacking threat for us.
Just looking ahead to Saturday, in terms of absentees, obviously still without the likes of Fraser, Sars, Bardo. How far away are they right now?
Yeah, not far. Bardo's probably still a little bit in the air. It's a bit of trial and error with him in terms of just hoping there's no reaction to the sessions that he's doing, and touch wood at the moment there hasn't been. Sauce and Fraser both back on the grass, both increasing their metrics to be able to get them back into, I suppose, first team environment in terms of training, but doing ball stuff. Fraser probably the week after next, we'd suggest on the grass in terms of full training, and Sauce not far behind, maybe a week. Probably the frustrating bit comes when you see what they're doing out there in terms of where they are. They look very, very close. We've just got to be careful. As much as, like I say, we want them back. We want them back long term. We want them back till the end of the season. We don't want them back for 2 and 3 games and then them breaking down. So there is a patience element to that, which can be frustrating. But I suppose what we have to do is live with that frustration and hope that we still pick up the results we need to make sure that when they are back, we're in a place that we can really look to kick on and compete in the last part of the season.
In terms of opposition this weekend, obviously you'll be coming up against a striker that you'll know all about in Luke Armstrong. His dad's obviously a legend here, and he was a big part of the Hartlepool side that got promotion.
He was, yeah. Luke did brilliant for us. Like I say, at the time, we'd love to have kept him, but I suppose we were in a position of uncertainty around a playoff final and not knowing if you're going to win or not win. Hence him moving to Harrogate. Great lad. What he is as a lad, he is as a player. Puts everything into the game and has real quality to score goals. Like I say, they haven't had the run they'd wish for in terms of results and position they sit, but their threats are evident in the fact that they went to Carlisle and won at the weekend, a result that no one would have potentially seen coming. But Weaves and Thurles, who I know well, we'll have them organised. Like I say, I've worked with Luke before, I've worked with Jack Muldoon before, I've worked with Matty Daly before. They've got quality in their squad, and we've got to make sure that, like I say, we control what we do. It will be a tough game regardless. They'll be buoyed by the fact they've picked up a result at the weekend, and we want to get themselves away from the bottom end of the table where they currently sit. And like I say, in terms of what they have within the squad, they have the firepower and the quality to do that.
Yeah, I was going to say, if ever a result summed up the crazy nature of this league, it was Harrogate last week, going to Carlisle, getting a win. I think they did it without even getting a shot on target as well. So just goes to show what can happen if you're not at your best in this league.
Yeah, like I say, the margins are, regardless, the margins are really fine. Go back to, I think, probably my first league game involved here. We went up against Bromley. Bromley, a team who were above us in the league and above us in the table, and we managed to grab a 1-1 draw when they didn't have an attempt on target, and we dominated a game. That, regardless of what league you're in, those things can happen. This league is ridiculously close, not just in terms of, as I said, 6th to 15th and the points gap between them. Tranmere have lost their last 2 a week before they beat Leyton Orient. So there will be them results, and them results aren't shocks. You have to be bang at it every single week, and you have to get at times that little bit of rub of the green, a little bit of look at the draw, decisions going in your favour. And the difference can be, like I say, can be minute. The difference between hitting the outside of the post and the inside of a post. You look, like I say, you look at the Carlisle Harrogate, a back pass that goes a yard to the right of the keeper ultimately wins Harrogate the game. So, like I said, there's lots of variables, lots of things you can't control. We didn't do that to a certain degree on Saturday with the goals we conceded, but in large parts we did, and that really has got us to where we are currently. Take them first 10 games out of it, what we have done is done the basics really well, and ground out and done what it's took to win at times, and that has to continue, and we have to still try and improve.
Dave, thanks for talking to us.
Cheers, thank you.